Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today we are going to address one of the #1 concerns that we get from our customers that come to the garden center and online. What are we talking about? Yes, my friends, those beautiful pesky deer that come and visit your garden and use it as a salad bar. So what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be exploring some of the deer-proof shrubs from Proven Winners ColorChoice Shrubs. We hear it all the time, and not just in our region, but across the country. Homeowners, gardeners who are absolutely battling deer in their gardens. Between the new developments that are coming out in the neighborhoods, right? So new neighborhoods are being built. You've got less natural habitat for the deer to go and explore what they want to eat, their native habitat. So they're coming to our gardens and really kind of decimating our gardens. So we're going to address this. Proven Winners knows that this is a massive problem. So they have come out with a deer-proof line of shrubs. This includes a total of 46 different shrubs from the Proven Winner ColorChoice shrub line. I will give you a link so you can check out, if you want to check out all 46 of those. We're going to kind of hit the highlights today. But these plants are called deer-proof because they have been university rated for being rarely or seldom damaged by deer. As we all know, however, if deer are hungry, if they are starving, they're going to eat anything. But these are going to be your best options for those deer-proof shrubs in your gardens. And we've got everything from evergreens to flowering, deciduous, something for the cold zones, something for your warmer zones, a little bit of everything. So we are going to dive in. This is great information for all us gardeners, whether we have deer or not, because you never know when those deer may decide to pick your garden as their next buffet line. You're going to notice as we go through these shrubs that there's going to be those cultivars, those quote families of plants that are going to be more deer resistant. For example, abelias. Abelias are a beautiful evergreen option for your garden. Historically, they're going to be hardy in zones 6 to 9, so a little bit on the warmer zone. We here in North Carolina adore abelias because they are a great evergreen option that are low. They do not get massive. They come in a range of colors, and of course, then they flower and bring in the pollinators. So for example, we've got Brilliantina. Brilliantina is going to be full sun to part sun, as most abelias are. This is going to be in that 3 to 4 foot tall and wide range. This has gorgeous, like that variegated foliage with that chartreuse on the outer edge and dark green on the inside. It has got beautiful pure white flowers later on, kind of towards the end of summer, and has that nice mounded habit to it. So another one of my absolute favorite ones is Mucho Gusto. Mucho Gusto we have at the chicken coop, we have it in the signature garden, and this is going to give you that classic color. It is an absolutely like beautiful, mostly green with some cream in it. Again, it has those really sweet white flowers on it, but it is a great classic look. Also with abelias, if you have grown abelias before, you might kind of have that problem where you have a lot of like rogue stems coming up. The Proven Winners abelias are more tight. They have that tighter habit to them, and a great option for you. But you have got like Tres Amigos. Tres Amigos is going to give you those 3 different colors. So it's going to bring in a little bit of burgundy. So lots of options for you within that abelia family. Great evergreen option for our folks in the warmer zones of 6 to 9. Next, and this is one of those controversial shrubs. People love them or they hate them. I fall in the category of I love them. Barberries. So barberries, as most people know, are going to be, they are a deciduous shrub. And the reason that so many people dislike them is because they have thorns. So this is going to be an obvious deterrent for the deer because they have those thorns, very much kind of like roses, and so when they go to eat on them, of course the thorns prick them. One of the absolute most favorite ones that is just, we cannot keep it in stock here at the nursery, is Sunjoy Neo. Sunjoy Neo has got just as its name suggests, it is like a neon red. It stands out and is beautiful. Nice small habit to it as well. It is not going to be super big in that like 2 to 3 foot range. Your neos are going to be, and your barberries in general too, are going to be more cold hardy. So basically from like zones 4 to 9. So we're getting up in those colder zones. Rarely do you need to prune these. If you want to prune them, you're just going to be doing it for shaping. Because they don't flower, we're using them for their foliage color. One of the latest one from Proven Winners is the Sunjoy Fast Neo. So we are growing Fast Neo that is going to go in our privacy berm. This is going to be bigger than Neo in the fact that it is going to be about 3 to 5 feet tall and 3 to 4 feet wide. So roughly kind of twice the size of Neo. So you have got the Neo and the Fast Neo in those red bright colors. You have got Sunjoy Citrus, that is a nice chartreuse color. You have got the Sunjoy Sequins that has a lovely kind of display of multiple colors on it. Sunjoy Sequins is going to be basically like a 3 by 4 tall and wide, and you're going to get a lot of beautiful color on this because your new growth emerges with that kind of that white, pink, and green. As your summer progresses, it turns to green, but then that new foliage has all that new color in it. So Sequins gets its name from that kind of ever-changing color on it. If you need something more upright, then you're going to go for like the pillars, whether that is the orange pillar, we've got gold pillar, like there's just about a barberry for every occasion, and these are just beautiful for that gorgeous pop of foliage color that are deer resistant and low maintenance. So very easy. Love the barberries. One that we may not think about is beautyberries. So Pearl Glam Beautyberry is a fantastic shrub, so low maintenance. It is one of my all-time favorites. Pearl Glam Beautyberry gets its name because it is a deciduous shrub, but in the spring, it will put on a beautiful display of these white flowers. Pollinators go crazy over it. They are little small white flowers in these clusters. This time of year, we're going into it, so late summer into fall, those flowers are turning into berries, and Pearl Glam has almost like this fluorescent, iridescent, bright purple berries all over the plant. It is a beautiful berry bush, hence its name. But the Pearl Glam is going to be hardy in zones 5 to 9. It'll get a little bit of height to it, 4 to 5 feet tall, 2 to 3 feet wide. So it has that more upright columnar habit to it, but it has a beautiful foliage. The foliage is a really dark green that has a hint of the purple near black in it. Great plant that is low maintenance, beautiful 3 seasons of color. It blooms on new growth. Therefore, every late winter going into spring, you can give it a nice haircut. Basically, just kind of like give it a flat top, right? Just take it and cut it back by like 1/3 to 1/2, depending on what size it is and what size you want to keep it. But Pearl Glam Beautyberry is a great option to give you 3 seasons of interest that is deer proof. Another great deer-proof option for you that is going to give you beautiful flowers and interest in the late season garden, Caryopteris. Yes, my friends, Caryopteris. So if you have a hot, dry area in your garden that you want to bring in some color, Caryopteris is going to be the one for you. Whether it is the Beyond Pink, one of my all-time favorites. This is a gorgeous plant. When it is in full bloom, it is an absolute eye catcher. People will stop in their tracks and they are like, what is that plant? Oh my gosh, it is gorgeous. So your Caryopteris is going to be for those warm weather zones, 7B to 9. So we're talking about those nice southern states, those hot zones that have that drier temperature. This is going to be a full sun plant. So that means minimum of 6 hours. It's gonna be on that petite side, basically like a 2.5 by 2.5. For some of the season, for the most part of the season, this plant is going to kind of go unnoticed. It is deciduous. It's going to look like during the growing season, like a nice little green mound. It's going to look like a little green shrub. But once she starts blooming, dear heavens, it is an absolute showstopper. So it will put on these, the stems, very upright stems with these beautiful, soft baby doll pink blooms. They almost remind me of like little like spaceship saucers kind of going up the stems, and the plant is absolutely covered in this these blooms, and so your pollinators absolutely love it. It is an absolute stunner. As I said, if you're going to prune it, we want to do that growing into the growing season, so at the end of winter going into the growing season. If you're familiar with Russian sage, it's kind of similar to that. We don't want to prune it in the fall and to have those stems exposed during the wintertime. We want to leave it how it is in the wintertime, and then come late winter, early spring, then you can really give it a strong haircut. But this is a plant that definitely does not like to have wet feet. So this is great. Like I said, if you have that hot, dry area, then the Beyond Pink Caryopteris is for you. If you don't like the pink, then you could go Beyond Midnight. Beyond Midnight is a really, as the name suggests, deep, deep blue. And so it has those nice kind of contrast between the pink and the blue. You could have both of them in your garden and it would do really well. Next on the list is another one of those plants. I think people either love it or they hate it. What are we talking about? Boxwoods. That's right, my friends. So boxwoods. Again, I fall in the camp of I love boxwoods. And boxwoods are so versatile in the garden. I think that's one of the reasons that I love them. The other reason is I just like the plant. I have fond memories of a child with boxwoods in my childhood, and so I love this plant. So we love boxwoods because, one, they are deer proof. Two, they can do anything from full sun to shade, anywhere in between. Of course, they give you beautiful dark green foliage year round. Just below me, I have got Sprinter boxwoods. They are beautiful. Sprinter, of course, gets its name because it is a very fast growing boxwood. Sprinter is hardy like your other boxwoods in zones 5 to 9. You can maintain it anywhere between 2 to 4 feet tall and wide. So boxwoods respond really well to being pruned. So I prune mine once a year. I do that again out of winter going into spring. But the new boxwoods too from Proven Winners, I don't know if you've heard, but Proven Winners has partnered with the new gen boxwoods. So the new gen boxwoods are going to be added into the Proven Winner ColorChoice Shrub line beginning spring of 2026. New gens are fabulous boxwoods because they have a high resistance to boxwood blight. They have great resistance to leaf miners, those common pests that would plague your boxwoods. The new gens are great options for those because of their great breeding. So you've got all different ones that are going to be coming out in the Proven Winners ColorChoice Shrub marketing and in the brands, and you're going to start to see that in your garden center come spring of 2026. So your boxwoods, great option for you if you have deer and you want that great classic evergreen shrub in your garden that you can maintain. Of course, they will do well in the landscape. You can put them in large containers. You can prune them however you want. You can use it as a specimen. You can use it as a hedge. You can use it as a topiary. The versatility and the options on these guys are absolutely endless. One of the most popular shrubs that I see on social media, that I see people talking about, I have customers asking about, that you may not realize that is deer proof, is the Proudberry pink coral berry. Now this is a very fun shrub. Why do people go nuts over Proudberry? Well, Proudberry, first of all, is going to be hardy in zones 3 to 7. So hello, my cold people. This is for you. Even in North Carolina as a zone 8A, we have Proudberry in the signature garden, and she is doing really well. So finding the right spot, you can grow it in the warmer zones. It's basically going to be 3 to 4 feet tall and wide. Why people love Proudberry is because this time of year and going into winter, you're going to notice these Proudberries putting on little berries. And when those cooler temperatures hit, they turn the softest shade of pink. Again, kind of that baby doll pink, pastel pink. So you have got a deciduous shrub that is just covered in these beautiful soft pink berries. It is a great addition to the garden. Of course, because you have those berries, that means you have had flowers earlier in the season. So you've got flowers earlier in the season that your pollinators absolutely love from the Proudberry. Maintenance on Proudberry is very simple. Because it does bloom on new growth in early spring, you're going to cut it back by half. Just so we can all be clear, there is grace in gardening, right? So this was my first year growing Proudberry, and for some reason I had it in my head that it bloomed on old growth. So I did not prune mine. I absolutely should have, because she is going crazy in the garden. But you know what? Even though it blooms on new growth, I did not prune it this year. She is already covered in tons of little berries. So there's grace in gardening. If you forget to prune your Proudberry, or you just didn't know you were supposed to prune your Proudberry, don't fret. Odds are it is going to bloom anyway. So what we'll do this coming spring is we will give her a very good haircut to make her nice and tight, and make sure that we get an abundance of those beautiful pink berries come next summer and into the winter season. Couple of the notes on the Proudberry. 1, it is a native shrub to North America. 2, while I probably would not encourage you to eat those berries, your birds, your songbirds in your garden are absolutely going to love these berries. So this is a great source of food for those songbirds in your garden in those cooler months. One of my all-time favorite shrubs that is deer-proof, didn't know it, is forsythia. Forsythia, if you're not familiar with it, I think you would probably, if you saw the picture, then you would recognize what forsythia is. Here in the South, when I was growing up, we just called them yellow bells. So the yellow bells are one of the absolute earliest blooming shrubs in the springtime. So really coming out of winter into spring. I want to say it's early March that ours bloom. But the forsythia from Proven Winners ColorChoice Shrubs are unlike the forsythias that I grew up with. The ones that I grew up with were very spindly. Yes, they had beautiful yellow flowers, but they were sporadic. They weren't very thick. Dear heavens, the show-offs from Proven Winner ColorChoice Shrub, they live up to their name. So basically we have 3 different ones in the line, and it's going to depend on what size that you want. So first of all, you have show-off. Show-off is going to be the daddy of the family. It is nice and big. It's going to easily get in that 5 to 6 foot range. And y'all, when I say that the flowers are covering this plant from the base of the stem all the way up to the tippy top, they are tightly stacked on one another. It makes a massive impact from a distance. That bright yellow catches people's eye and they see it. Now, show off is going to be too big for you. Then you've got starlet, which is going to be in that 2 to 3 foot range. And then you have got show off sugar baby. Sugar baby, as its name suggests, is going to be that really nice petite one. Basically kind of in that 2 foot tall and 2 foot tall and wide range. Very dense coverage on this. So, and the great thing is that you can shape them after they flower. So once they have gotten all of their flowers off of it, go ahead and give it a nice prune, especially your show-offs, because they are very vigorous growers. Give them a good prune, let them grow through this season, and then you're going to be rewarded with beautiful, bright, cherry yellow flowers come early spring. For those of you that are looking for some evergreen interest, right? So again, we have deer-proof shrubs in all that can meet all kind of categories. So one of my new favorite shrubs that I'm currently growing in our terrace garden is the Montana moss juniper. Y'all, this plant is amazing. If you are looking for an evergreen that has that blue-green foliage to it, then this is going to be the option for you. It is a great kind of ground cover shrub because it will get only 2 to 4 feet tall, but 3 to 5 feet wide. So it has that low spreading habit to it. Unlike some other junipers, it is relatively soft to the touch. I wouldn't say I'd cuddle up with it, but it's not going to be overly, it's not going to prick you and cause some irritation on the skin. It is a gorgeous, stunning option for that evergreen interest. We're not going to get any flowers off of it. That's all right. I have it on the hill of the terrace garden, so it's going to give me that beautiful evergreen color, and especially for me, I'm thinking about in the wintertime, because right now I've got tons of flowering plants up there, and she's kind of taken a little bit of a back seat. She's still growing, but Montana moss is a great option for that year-round interest with that blue-green foliage. It is going to be hardy in zones 4 to 9. Tough plant and a relatively fast grower. In 1 year, because I got them as small baby plants, not even a quart size, I moved them up to like a 2-gallon container, let them grow out through the rest of the summer, and then added them to the landscape in the late fall, early winter here, and they are a very good size. So if you're looking for something that is going to be a relatively fast grower to give you that blue-green, evergreen foliage, take Montana moss. You are absolutely going to love this plant as much as I do. One of my new favorite plants. Y'all, this native shrub is phenomenal. What am I talking about? Paisley pup. Paisley pup dog hobble is an absolutely gorgeous native shrub. It is an evergreen and it does flower and it has a fragrance. I mean, what else could you ask for in a shrub? Paisley pup is going to give you a beautiful display of this variation of color. You're going to have greens, you're going to have creams, you're going to have pinks in it. In the early spring, you're going to get flowers on it that smell divine. They are absolutely lovely. So the Paisley pup is going to be that evergreen shrub that's going to be a little bit more for your shadier locations. This beautiful shrub is hardy in zones 5 to 8. It is going to be 3 to 4 feet tall, about 4 to 5 feet wide. So again, it's going to be a little bit wider than it is tall. So the reasons that you want to grow Paisley pup is, one, it is evergreen. You get beautiful foliage and color on it year round. So even in August, mine is still putting out new growth, very happy, and she has got a gorgeous display of those creams, those greens, and those pinks. So you're constantly going to get that gorgeous display of color. You get those beautiful, sweet little flowers that smell amazing. It is tough. It is deer resistant. It can handle kind of those even more like damp areas. It does really well. So if you don't have the Paisley pup, it's one of the newer ones on the market. I would highly encourage you to try out this great native deer-proof shrub. One that, again, that is kind of new out there, new for me. I honestly do not have any experience growing this, but my goodness, they are the cutest little plants that I would love to add to the garden. What am I talking about? Scotch brooms. So it's called, you have the sisters, right? So there are 3 sisters, for like example, Sister Disco. So the Scotch brooms are going to be hardy in your zones 5 to 8. They're going to be nice and petite, basically a 1 to 3 foot tall and wide. And the reason that you would want to maybe add the Scotch broom to your garden is that because of their nice petite size, they have that very kind of dwarf habit to them. It really fits in very well to the front or the middle of your landscape. You can put perennials around it, annuals, bulbs, just whatever you want to kind of incorporate in there with it. And it has, like the Sister Disco, has these yellow, bright yellow flowers with a little bit of red on them, kind of a very open habit to it. So you have got Sister Disco, and then you have also got Sister Rosie, which is more of a pink, and then you have got Sister Redhead. Obviously, she is going to have red flowers. So try out those Scotch brooms and try out those 3 sisters in your garden. We also have one, again, another huge favorite of mine is the Sweet and Low Sarcocoa. So Sweet and Low Sarcocoa is going to be another native shrub that is evergreen, more for kind of your shade to park shade garden. This one will naturalize if it is in damp soil, so it will spread. It's not going to be crazy and invasive and take over your garden. It is hardy in zones 5 to 9, and basically it's going to be in, that depends on your growing zone. The cooler zones, it's going to be a little bit smaller, 1.5 feet tall. In the warmer zones, we're going to get to be about 2.5 feet tall in that 2 to 3 foot spread. The Sweet and Low Sarcocoa gets its name because it does produce those small white flowers with a little bit like the red tips on them. They're the cutest little things, very fringy. They will stop you in your tracks when they are blooming because of their fragrance. This past spring, I was walking through the pines at the garden center and I was like, it's not honeysuckle season, it's not gardenia season, not jasmine. What in the world is it? Well, it was the Sweet and Low Sarcocoa. It is fantastic for fragrance. Once it is out of bloom, you're going to love it because of that beautiful evergreen habit. It is a very early spring flowering plant, very, very shade tolerant. I have it in both a container and in the landscape up at the chicken coop. Gets a little bit of morning sun and then it is in deep shade for the rest of the day and as happy can be. Nice low growing habit. So again, because I know sometimes for our shade gardens, we think, well, what can we have that's petite and evergreen with fragrant flowers? I gotcha. The Sweet and Low Sarcocoa is a great option for you. All right, who does not love a flowering shrub that has fragrant flowers? I know I do. So what are we talking about? Last up on the list are going to be our viburnums. These are going to be Korean spice viburnums, and there's several within this family, shall we say. So let's think about some smaller ones, for instance. So in general, your Korean spice viburnums are going to be hardy in zones 4 to 8. So a nice wide range of growing zones. This is going to be in a full sun to a part sun. Again, depending on your growing zone. If you're in those cooler zones, 4, 5, 6, absolutely full all day sun, not a problem. The warmer zones, 7 and 8, maybe we have it in the full sun up until mid-afternoon and then give it a break from the hot, intense afternoon sun. So for example, you have got Spice Baby. So Spice Baby is going to be in that more petite for a viburnum, 3.5 to 5 feet tall and wide. So it's going to be a nice rounded habit to it. Why do we love these viburnums? Well, one, they are deciduous, but they make up for it for the other 3 seasons out of the year. So your Korean spice viburnums are going to give you beautiful, fragrant white flowers in the spring. Nice kind of a rounded, kind of reminiscent of a mop head hydrangea, so that classic Macrophylla hydrangea. Because we have customers all the time, they're like, I want that hydrangea that blooms in early spring because it looks like a hydrangea. It is not. Those are your viburnums. Snowball bush. A lot of people here in the South will call them snowball bushes. So they have those beautiful white flowers. Once they are finished flowering, then they will have a gorgeous display of green foliage. Very kind of soft, fuzzy, beautiful green foliage that then in the fall turns beautiful reds, burgundies. It is the perfect accent for the fall garden. So if you were looking for that deer-proof shrub that is going to be in different sizes, because like I said, within the family there are multiple different viburnums that you can choose from, but the Spice Baby is going to be in that more manageable size, because as most people are finding that their garden space is getting a little bit smaller, so they need those nice tight compact shrubs. So Spice Baby is going to be a great option for you. Beautiful spring white flowers, great foliage for a backdrop during the summer, and then in the fall you cannot beat that gorgeous burgundy foliage. So hopefully this has been helpful for you. You can save this, refer back to this at any point if you have some deer issues or you're looking for options. Again, I have not covered all 46 of the shrubs within the deer proof line from the Proven Winners ColorChoice Shrubs, but this is a great option for you. You can purchase these, of course, online from Creekside Nursery. Visit your local garden centers. They're going to be putting them in branded pots, so they're going to have that deer-proof signage on the pot to help you identify quickly which ones are going to be the best fit for your garden if you have deer. My hat's off to those folks that have deer in their garden. We do not have deer pressure in our gardens. Yes, we have deer around us, but they do not bother our plants. I know people ask us all the time because we're out in the woods, do you not have deer problems? We do not. The only thing I can attribute that to, because certainly heaven knows we've got the plants for them, but they have such vast amounts of their native habitat and the plants that they would prefer to eat that they leave our plants alone. So it's interesting that we see most of the deer problems in those really kind of suburban neighborhoods where they get kind of trapped and then they're stuck there. So hopefully these will be great options for you. If you've got other deer-proof shrubs that you have deer problems and you can say, well, I planted this and that deer leave it alone, let's put it in the comments. Whether it's a shrub, a perennial, or an annual, put them in the comments so that other gardeners can learn from your experience, because iron sharpens iron, and this is a great community to share those ideas back and forth. As always, we hope you have found this fun, informative, inspirational. If you have, please like and subscribe. We would so appreciate that. That way you don't miss those 5 videos that we do each and every week. Y'all have an amazing day. Stay strong, my dear people. Stay strong. You got this. You can beat them. See you in the next video. Bye, guys.